Hello and welcome to another episode of Dinner with Macleans. We were chatting about this the other day on the oars. We don't know why we've called it this because it's never dinner time for us. It's always breakfast. We rarely want to have a curry for breakfast, but yes, the name is the name now. We have to stick with it. So yes, dinner with Sam Heughan this episode with Sam. You might know Sam from the global hit series Outlander, where he plays the character Jamie Fraser. Big Jamie Fraser. It's super popular in the US and everywhere else in the world, and he's done very well from it. And we had a lovely chat. We chatted about Sam. We have quite a lot in common actually. Sam's a bit of an adventurer. He's recently back from a trip to Nepal, so you hear about that. He's all about taking on physical challenges and doing it for a greater purpose, which I mean that's exactly what we're about. So that was awesome. We chatted about my peak challenge, the what he set up a few years ago, encouraging people to get active and raise money for charity. And we talk about our Rudolf Steiner roots. Now you probably don't know who Rudolf Steiner is, but you'll have to listen to the episode to find out. But we have that in common as well. And finally, we chat about whiskey, and we promise to have a dram with one another once we get back to Scotland. So it was a really
Gentlemen, how are you?
very
Very
well.
well.
How are you?
Superb. Oh my God, thank you so much for making the time to do this. Not that you had
Oh
anything else to do.
man, no, like it's right back at you. Don't be ridiculous. We're actually on para anchor right now. So we had it's just basically some bad weather against us. So in those conditions, if it's depends on which direction the wind's coming from, but it's directly from the southwest, which is exactly where we want to go, which is really annoying. So we're on para anchor, I think probably for the next 2 hours. So it's a really
All
good
right.
time for a call for us, to be honest, because we're all we're all able
It's
to
one of the rare times that someone isn't rowing.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
you get a welcome break. I mean, honestly, firstly, guys, what an incredible experience. I'm sure you're what 100 plus days into it and completely all at sea, so to speak. But we're all behind you. Honestly, it's such an incredible thing that you're doing. I'm following your every day with your progress and obviously trying to match your beards and hairstyles. We're having a beard off. Who's
I
got the
know.
best beard?
I think Jamie's has come out pretty well, or at least his tash is pretty
Exactly.
good.
I hear Tash is good.
Maybe my
What's the
beard's a bit.
secret? What's the secret? Is it sort of salt
Lots of
water
salt.
and yeah?
Lots of
My,
soul, freeze dried food, maybe.
do you know
Yeah.
what's incredible is that you guys seem so positive and like I don't know what is the dynamic? I mean, you're obviously brothers and you've been on this journey together. But is that what it's like normally when you're at home? I mean, what is the dynamic?
Can you?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, we do get on pretty well. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
it's not just a show, or it's not just
yeah,
like for our gear's sake. I mean, I
yeah.
think here it's highlighted that team dynamics is so important, and like yeah, I think being brothers, we know each other, extremely well. We have, because we've like grown up together, we have similar thresholds. So we
Yeah.
have like similar, when the weather gets pretty hairy, we either all tend to want to push at the same time or we want to hold
Mhm.
back, which is really good because it means like there's no friction at those moments. And then I think generally, our objectives are aligned. I think something we've observed with like other ocean rowing teams in particular when we did the Atlantic a few years ago. You observe teams that maybe haven't quite figured out. Maybe the one person's doing it to try and set records, one person's doing it for the charitable reasons, someone else is
Right.
there just for like a spiritual experience. If
Yeah.
you haven't ironed out those differences before you set off, like
Yeah.
they can quite easily cause quite big fractures in the team dynamics. And you see people arrive after what could be a life-changing experience, and they don't speak to each other, and
Oh.
it's just tragic. It's just so
Ah,
sad.
yeah. I mean, I just can't even imagine what it's like for you guys. It's such an amazing feat. I very, very recently was up in Nepal, in the
Yeah.
mountains in Himalayas, and I did, only a fraction of that sort of feeling, I guess, that you guys have, which is being sort of, I guess, quite remote and detached from the rest of the world. And
Yeah.
it's incredible, and you can't not have, a sort of spiritual moment, at least, unless you're completely hard-hearted. But I mean, has it been like, magical, or are you just like, oh, I can't wait to see dry land?
Sam, I think it might be because we're on such a small little screen, but it's kind of chopping off your face right through your eye.
There we go. We can see you now. There we go. We can see you. You're too tall. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
There
We
we
can
go.
see you.
I'm actually on
Um.
my knees right now. There you go.
Oh yeah, I think I mean, I'm sure you know from. I'd love to hear more about Nepal, but I think it's such a roller coaster. You know, it's like
Yeah.
one moment to the next. I think it goes from these like the most tranquil sunrise. Like pretty much every day I've been on like the dawn shift, so I like go from night to dawn, and I see like the
Wow.
light forming on the horizon, and some of the skies out here are just next level. Like, it's like
Spectacular.
it's 360 degrees of just like amazing cloud formations. Stars at night are there's no light pollution, so
Yeah.
it's a new, in Australia, how it's totally unusual stars for us in Scotland. Like
Right.
it's kind of unusual constellations, and
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I think it goes from that to it's just a roller coaster. Yeah, it's like in the same
Yeah.
day you can have like a really what feels like a profound, I don't know, spiritual experience, and then the next
You're
like
back in the shit.
3 hours later, you've had like, the wind's turned against you. One of the batteries is playing up, and it's yeah. Then becomes it's like kind of living hell. So it's really, I'd say,
I think the lows frame the highs.
exactly. That's a good way
Yeah.
of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Oh,
kind of
that's
like
so
give it
beautiful.
context. Yeah.
It's
No, it's
it's
cool.
a, it's interesting what you're saying there about the stars, because I literally can't believe it. I missed you guys there. I was just in Australia, and I just flew
Oh
back,
no.
probably over you,
Wow.
on a nice warm airplane, eating some sort of plane food.
Yeah.
I won't rub it in, but yeah, I love the star system there. The Southern Cross for me is like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just you never get to see that really. You get to see that in the Northern Hemisphere, so it really is remarkable.
Yeah.
And actually, do you see the Starlink, which is kind of mad to see that?
Oh, yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it more. We saw it more in the Atlantic, actually. I'd say
Right.
out
Yeah.
out here. I think the thing that's really stood out for me has been the Milky Way. Like it's just
Oh,
so bright.
wow.
It's just like,
Wow.
and it kind of starts pointing because it's kind of. I think it must be slightly more in the south. I'm not. I feel like I've
Mm,
not noticed it much in the northern hemisphere, but it's just so. I mean, maybe it's the lack of light pollution. But it's so
yeah.
bright, and it's kind of. It's funny. It's kind of it rotates through the night and it seems to be kind of pointing towards Australia, like it's pointing southwest. So we're
This
the
way,
whole time we're
guys.
like, take us there, let's go. Oh
Oh
yeah,
wow! Well, Australia is probably waiting with nice weather for you. Probably a
Yeah.
cold beer, a
oh,
few furry animals. Is there something? I mean, what is it? I know probably everyone asks you this, but what is the thing that like you're most looking forward to doing? And actually, can I ask as well? What's the thing you're like most looking forward to doing? But also, what are you going to miss from this? Because I'm sure when you say
great.
you're in the crap all the time, at times you must be like, God, I can't wait for this to be over. But there's probably something that you're like, ah, man, that was really special.
I mean, I think the sleeping conditions on board are a bit dreary, and I think just the bed, like a
Yeah, not much
nice
spooning
bed
though.
with with like crisp, clean sheets and a good pillow,
Oh,
and
oh,
not moving. You're not getting like chucked about like a rag doll all night. Oh,
I the
yeah,
other night I was we were on Paranka, not last night but the night before. I was in the bow cabin on my own, and I thought I'd got the luck of the draw, but it was just like the it's like a big parachute in the water, and it kind of
yeah.
broke like, jeez, I'm falling overboard.
Please don't do
The
that while we're doing this. That
Yeah,
would be.
the bow sort of yanks every like every minute, and I was finally getting to sleep, and then
Yeah.
something came like crashing down on my face, and it was Ewan's bloody guitar. So then I was like, oh, I'm going back to sleep, and then the next moment, my accordion. I've like a little accordion, which
Amazing.
is like hidden in the bow, and then it was a cat. So I had like three things collide with my face. So yeah,
I think
I,
a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Just a good night's sleep.
I imagine when you were packing for it and you're telling your team, whatever, like, we're going to pack, right? We mustn't forget the accordion, the guitar, the bagpipes.
It's
Like they're
so
probably
funny
like,
because
what
you
is going
spend the
on?
whole time like you're focusing on every single gram. Like I honestly, I counted out the number of like spare screws that we were going to bring because didn't want to bring more than six because don't need more than
Yeah.
six of that length. And like you're just so obsessed over just making the boat as light as possible because it makes such a big difference. I mean, this kind of sport, it's like marginal gains. They just add up, and over that like 120 days at sea, it makes such a big difference.
Right.
But then it comes to the instruments, we're like, yeah, well, we'll bring.
yeah,
My guitar is a small guitar. I swear, it's like a smaller body as I could get, and yours is kind of a children's accordion.
it's a children's accordion. Yeah, it's very small.
And the
We've not
bagpipes, it
really been
doesn't
able to
matter,
play
right?
them.
Yeah, the pipes are the pipes. Yeah,
The,
Full set
the,
of pipes.
full set of
I,
pipes.
I love that bit of Scotland in somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, just flying the flag. You're
Yeah,
nutters, but I
yeah,
love
we
it.
might be able to see it. Can you see the flag?
I did, yeah. So as soon as we joined, I love that. It's
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Makes us very proud.
And I think
I mean,
what are we gonna miss out here? I think we had
yeah.
a really like family friend sent us a message really early on, and he's done loads of stuff in the Arctic and Antarctic and spent like many months away from home, and
Mm,
he was like just when it gets really tough, just think of supermarkets, bus stops, and sitting in traffic or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just I think those it's like I think it's like a lot of the admin and the choice I think you have in day-to-day life because
right.
we actually don't have any choice out here.
Yeah.
Um, like what we're eating, when we eat, it's really simple. And I think
Yeah.
that from that simplicity, I think it carves out like so much more headspace. Like there's no phone going off or
Right.
whatever. I mean, I'm sure you experienced, similar in the Nepal, but it's that kind of like when you're out and it's life is simple, and you just look forward to your cup of instant coffee and a baby beaker in the morning, and it's like, yeah,
Luxury.
Like that.
it's
Like,
good.
it's
Yeah,
kind of a clarity of thought that you don't get. I mean, if you go for a long walk, I think you kind of get it there, where you kind of,
Yeah.
you gestate and you're subconsciously, I don't know, just motion. I think just
yeah,
really helps with that. And I think when you've
yeah,
kind of combined, when you've not got any of these like random anxieties of daily life, like remembering to put the rubbish out or whatever it is, like all these little tiny things that don't really matter
with a load of endorphins, probably.
with a load of endorphins, yeah,
Yeah.
flowing the whole time. It does give you a kind of clarity. It feels like you can just think really clearly and make good decisions on life. I'm sure it's just sleep deprivation and
Yeah.
but
You've all just lost your mind. Yeah.
yeah,
No, but
yeah,
I actually, I totally agree. I think, actually, when I did that hike in the Himalayas, and I was like, oh, it becomes very simple. It's literally putting one
Yeah,
foot in front of the other, or just a simple task. But,
yeah,
and when you think, right, when I go back to the real world, I'm gonna
yeah,
implement that, and I'm not gonna be on my phone as much. And of course,
yeah.
very quickly
It's
you
so
fall back
difficult.
into it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
Where were you? What were you doing? What hikes were
Um,
you doing?
Oh, well, I did a hike up to Everest Base Camp, but it was a route that
Wow,
hasn't been done. We were the first people to
Wow.
do it officially on this route up to the Yampalatsa Pass, which is about
wow,
20,000 feet, and then we rappelled or abseiled into the Khumbu Valley,
Wow.
which was look, I'm it's nothing compared to what you guys are doing. Honestly, I'm in complete awe, but. It just gave me a little hint of what that
Little
your
taster.
guys'
Yeah.
life is like. Yeah, and I craved things, of course, but also by the end, I was like actually really sad to have the end of that simplicity in the daily
Yeah.
life. And
yeah.
I guess for you guys, there probably must be so many moments where you're like, I kind of know this is amazing, but I also wish it was over. And
I
actually,
know
before you know
it's
it will be, and you'll be like,
I
man, it
know
was so good.
it's
Yeah.
like it's like the paradox I think of doing these things, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
from the moment we start, we've been like obsessed with forward progress. It's like always someone on the oars. Apart from now, now is like, I don't know, one of the
1%.
yeah. We've had the parent car like 3 times. So this is actually quite unusual. Feels very
Wow.
weird. It's nice to be chatting
Yeah.
to someone. Otherwise, I think we'd be getting
Yeah.
feed.
Yeah.
But you're obsessing about making this journey as short as possible, and speeding up, doing everything you can to go faster. But then, as you say, it's like when you arrive, it's like, I wish I just enjoyed that sunrise a little bit more, or yeah, you kind of long for it as well.
And
Sam, yeah, on you go. Sorry.
oh, sorry, Karen. No, I was going to say because you're going for a world record. Is that right?
Oh, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's the record at the moment for any crossing of the Pacific is 159 days. So yeah, we're hoping to get ahead of that. See what happens with the weather. I mean, it should. I mean, where we are at the moment and how far we've got left. Yeah, we're going to keep pushing for that and see what happens. But I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that the records. It's a funny thing, like Jamie was saying earlier. Where teams sometimes they get their goals maybe somewhat mixed up, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think for us, like the goal is very much raise £1 million for clean water projects. That's the number one thing. Get across safely. The record is we're gonna we're naturally I think quite competitive and like want to do it as well as we possibly can. I think
And it would probably
definitely
help with fundraising.
and that's it. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing that we definitely recognise is if we can get the record, then it helps with the headlines or just helps get the
Well,
word out, and ultimately that's trying to help with the fundraising.
I mean, it's honestly, you're absolutely right. It's like it's not the end goal, is it? It's just perhaps a happy thing that can happen in the meantime. But the what you are doing is raising amazing awareness and hopefully funds as well for an incredible charity. And I think also being surrounded by water that you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
drink. It's also almost a kind of a crazy link to this charity. What is the actual charity? It's in Madagascar. Is that right?
It is, yeah. So I mean, so we set up like our own charity after the Atlantic
With Dad.
with our
Yeah.
dad. So
Yes,
it's
which
kind of
we must talk about him in a second.
Yeah.
get onto the whiskey chat, I'm sure. And it was really off the back of doing a bunch of fundraising for the for our Atlantic crossing, raising funds for clean water projects, which in truth, it was still quite an abstract idea for the three of us. I think, like, for anyone who grows up in a Western developed country, like the idea of not having access to clean water, it's pretty hard to get your head around that.
Yeah.
Just how often we use it in our daily lives. It's kind of like you can draw a comparison to like your health. And when you've got your health, everything's fine. You don't even think about it. And then when you lose your health, when you get injured or something happens, you suddenly become so aware of that thing that you just took for granted. And I think it's the same with clean water. Us that have access to it, we just take it for granted, and people that don't, it really affects all manners, all walks of life. And so for us on the Atlantic, it was still abstract, and it wasn't until after that we went out to Madagascar and we physically saw some of the boreholes that had been funded,
Mm.
and
Wow.
saw us and the difference of a village that had access to clean water and one that didn't. And that, I think, just it stayed with the three of us. It really had a really a serious impact on us, and it stayed with us for sure. And then we came back and started this charity with the goal of raising funds for clean water projects and trying to inspire positive change generally.
Yeah.
And then I think and then the three of us knew that there was an itch that hadn't been scratched. I think and there might always be that itch. But
Yes. What's next? If you're already planning it, that's ridiculous.
Well, hopefully, Mum doesn't watch this.
but yeah, it just what the weird thing that we knew to do well was to row an ocean, and so we thought, well, let's just choose the biggest one out there, and that might allow us to raise as much funds and awareness as possible. So that's that's how it's kind of progressed from.
I think it's and like this. Also, the charity that we've set up, we're like working as a delivery partner in Madagascar, like a grassroots delivery partner. But this row, if we can raise £1 million, it's a region called Amboi Mahamasana. So it's an entire like section of the area that they work in, and the goal would be to give that entire region, it's like 40,000 people, clean water. So there's about 130 projects would need to be funded. So yeah, I mean, like for us, it's really tangible because we've been to the places and we've got pals that like live there now, and yeah, so it's kind of we'll give it our best bash, definitely.
I think you're doing an amazing job, and honestly, I think people are going to support you, but even after the this adventure, hopefully they will. It's an amazing cause, and as you say, growing up in the West, or certainly in Scotland, look,
Yeah.
we've got more water than we can shake a stick at. It's like it's everywhere, and it's constantly raining, but we're very we're so thankful because you take it for granted, as you say, and you don't realize
Yeah.
until it's gone. So I really hope you hit your goals. I'm sure you will. It's
Yeah.
been amazing following you, and I'm just amazed by your positivity. Like I was just thinking there, saying don't tell mum, but like I don't know if you have partners or pets or anything like that, but like there must be people out there or animals out there going, are they when are they coming home? I mean, is that hard?
Yeah.
Leaving people
Oh,
behind.
totally. I think that's the biggest kind of yeah, I guess like sacrifice that
Yeah.
and cost to taking on this sort of challenge. And I think it's
Mm.
one of the reasons that it took us a couple of years, to be honest, to really be sure that rowing across the Pacific was what we wanted to do, because it causes a lot of stress for loved ones, and I think all of our girlfriends have found it particularly tough. Just the length of time at sea, and I think if you've not been in this environment at all,
Mm.
it's like really hard to understand. It seems like really unsafe, and like at any moment we could be washed over and die, and that's a really difficult thing for any loved one or parent to carry and yeah, be stressing about. So, but I think that the reality is we're incredibly safe out here. Actually, in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, we do everything we possibly can to make sure that we're always
Minimizing
equipped,
risk.
yeah,
Yeah.
minimizing risk, and
Yeah.
yeah,
They'll just have to come with you next time, won't they? They'll just have to.
yeah,
Might need a bigger boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Sam, I wanted to say, so I actually, you definitely will not remember this, but can you remember the Tartan Day Parade in New York? I think it was in
Yes.
2016. So
Yes.
so I was actually in one of the school pipe bands
Oh
for
my
that parade,
God.
and I had a big
Wait,
funny hat. I was like a drum major, so like the cheerleader at the front with the big pole, and
that is incredible.
but so after that parade, we've got she's kind of like a collective godmother, called Carol Swift. She's a big fan, and she somehow managed to like scoop me up and get me into like the after party for the parade. And then
Amazing.
there's a big crowd of people, everyone's getting photos with you, and she managed to kind of get me through to the front. And she's still
What?
got this photo of me and you. I've got this big funny
No.
hat on.
Do
And
you know, I
yeah,
sort of almost remember that. I kind of
yeah.
remember that.
Oh,
Damn.
you must have thousands of photos taken with people.
Well,
So I doubt you do,
I
but
mean, definitely were 1,000 that day, but also probably a fair amount of whiskey as well was
yeah,
imbibed.
that's
So
true. That's true.
it's hard
But
to remember. But that's amazing that we've had a photo together. I think that's brilliant.
yeah, I know. I thought there was something that I remember we chatted for like 2 minutes, like less 30 seconds. But I think one of the things that I think you mentioned was going to the Rudolf Steiner School.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we went to the Steiners. We went to the Rudolf
Oh,
Steiner School in Edinburgh.
From like
wait,
from
what?
18 months through till yeah, from
Yeah.
18 months through till like 15 or so.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
well, I mean, now we're going to find out how much infinitely older I am than you boys. But when were you there?
So I left in 2007. You left in
2011,
yeah, something like that.
maybe.
Yeah, I was
But
in
then
2009, 2008.
but then
No,
when we would have started in like
We were like,
probably 1995, but we would have been
About 3.
1994.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have been, we would have been in
that
the toddler groups, kindergarten and stuff like that.
that's great. So I probably would have like I don't know kicked a ball at you or something. But that's
Yeah.
mad. That is mad. So we were there at the same time. That's crazy. I went
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
I think 90. Oh my God, my memory's gone here. But I think like 98, 97
Yeah.
for 3 or 4 years. What an amazing place! Clearly, the Rudolf
Oh.
Steiner School is
It's incredible.
breeding mad people who like to do crazy shit.
No, I think
That's great. Oh, did you do your ISB then?
yeah. We were gonna like we were
Ah,
gonna come in hard there and be like, can you spell your
Yeah.
name and you're with me? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I
Ah.
can't. No, no. Oh, it was. Do you know what? It was an amazing experience. You know, I was born and brought up in sort of southwest Scotland. You know, Dumfries
Yeah.
and Galloway, very rural, and went to Gillespie's in
Yeah.
Edinburgh for a year, and it was a big state school, and then luckily went to got a place at Steiner School, and it was just such an amazing environment. And it actually, the kids, I remember even then being like, God, these kids are so clever, but yet
Yeah.
so open and warm and empathetic and
Yeah.
sympathetic. And yeah, I think it's clearly, you can tell you guys went there as well because you're just such lovely guys. And I think, damn it, we didn't get to have a dram together, but we will. We will. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good
Segueing
school.
into your dad, Now, I met him a couple of maybe a year ago now. We did a wee whiskey tasting, and he's obviously a legend in the whiskey world. But you can
Hmm.
remind him that we did a blind tasting, and I beat him. I just wanted him to know.
You kept that quiet. You
Yeah,
didn't tell us
he
that.
did mention
Then you
that.
just said, Sam, a lovely guy. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll remind him when I see him. But is that
Yeah.
are you chaps? You're whiskey fans, are you? Is that something you
Oh,
like to?
hugely. I think we'd be cast out onto the street if we didn't, with Dad being. No, I think we've just grown up with it, really.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it's such a lovely industry, the whiskey industry. You know, everyone's. I think a lot of Dad's friends are obviously from that that world, and I think growing up as a kind of observer to it, I guess, as kids, and then more recently in the last kind of couple of years, we've done a couple kind of charitable releases, which has been really cool because we've been able to kind of properly work with some of the distilleries, with some of the bottlers, and produce kind of these limited runs of just like single cask releases, which has been
Mm.
amazing. We've loved it when it's been because there's so much generosity in the whiskey industry, and I think across the board from the distiller right through to the stockist, we've been able to, for every bottle we've sold so far, we've been able to raise enough funds from the sale of that bottle to provide one person with clean water for life, which is an amazing thing. Been really cool to cool to do. But yeah, I don't think I've tried Sassenach yet. I think
Dad was really complimentary.
yeah,
Yeah, he
I
was.
yeah.
thought
Dad
you
loved it.
might say that, so I've got a boat coming to you right now. They're just, yeah, they're on the way. But I mean, no. Do you know? It's really interesting. We've actually, I was just hearing you guys do that. I would love to do something with you guys because we've got some big news that we'll be announcing very, very soon. But would love
Oh,
to get in with you guys and perhaps create a a whiskey that we can sort of have for your charity or something along those
oh,
lines. So let's
oh,
keep talking. As long as your dad
that'd
lets
be
me win
amazing.
again. But
Yeah.
I was also thinking, actually, just thinking about the Tartan Day Parade there. It's a great day in New York, and I mean, it's just amazing to see the pipes and the drums
Yeah.
and everyone marching down Sixth Avenue. But I'm putting my petition in for you three to be the Grand Marshals trio. I think that would be an amazing experience, and you could carry your boat, or maybe someone else does that. But
It's
I'm
pretty
putting it
light to
out
be
there.
fair,
I
but
think I think they should do that. That would be amazing. Put it on a lorry or
we
something, and
we'll need to
well,
get a new. We need to get a new wrap. We need to get a tartan. Well, I suppose we do have a bit of tartan on the
Yeah.
boat,
Tartan.
but it's
there you
mostly
go.
kind of yeah. And there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's awesome. But no, love. I'm obviously in the whiskey business at the moment, and as you say,
Yeah.
it's a lovely thing, and it brings people together. I think, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
across the world as well. I think Scottish people. We are somehow renowned for enjoying a dram, but also it's just lovely. It's a great way to sort of, open a conversation or speak to people. I mean, even in Australia, when you arrive, I'm sure you'll get to sample. I had some great drams there recently, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's really cool. So I won't torture you with that. I won't talk about food too much.
Sam,
I'm sure
I was
you.
gonna ask about my peak challenge and the kind of inspiration for that,
Yeah.
because it just sounds like a really cool thing to have set up, and yeah,
It's raised so much money as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Thank you, Les. No, honestly, like yourselves, I think well, for me, it came out of my love of Scotland. I went back to Scotland to work on Outlander, and I rediscovered, what an amazing wee place it is, and I found myself, hiking a lot and getting outdoors, and I just wanted to share my love of, I guess, the outdoors and perhaps creating a healthy lifestyle. So we
Yeah,
created My Peak Challenge, initially very small, and it's just grown. We've got, tens of thousands of members all around the world, peakers, as we like to call them. You can consider yourself honorary peakers now. We'll send you some merchandise, but it's brilliant because it's, basically our peakers help themselves. So they do workout programs and yoga and mindfulness, and it's a really comprehensive program. But also at the same time, they're helping others because, yeah, the funds or the proceeds go to charities, and every year we choose a different charity. So
yeah,
we've done everything from food banking to Ocean Conservancy, which I think fits with you guys, to
yeah. Also,
more recently the WWF, and that's been a great just a great charity partners to work with. We were with Blood
yeah.
Cancer UK as well, which I did the
Wow.
London Marathon recently, which was super hot, super sweaty, but again, nothing like what you guys are doing, but really fun. So yeah, we love our peakers, and I know it's just great to be able to make a difference, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you must. Yeah, I guess. I think one thing that we've definitely found, because I think prior to the Atlantic, we never. I don't know. None of us had really done any fundraising or really thought about kind of raising funds for a charitable, getting involved with a charity at all, and then
Yeah,
recognize the capacity of taking on one of these big challenges for raising funds and making a real difference. And I think off the back of that, over the last few years of setting up the McLean Foundation and getting more and more involved, it's just I find it drives, like, gives me so much purpose day to day. It's like
yeah,
it's really motivating to feel like you're putting in loads of effort, and in this case we're doing something that we love at points, is pretty grim points as well, but we love it, we really
Yeah.
do, and it feels worthwhile because it will hopefully make a really big difference to so many people. And I think it's
Yeah.
the exact same for my Peak Challenge. And it's so cool for us. Water is, I think, it's a really good cause to support, but there's obviously so many amazing causes out there to support, and it must be like a really cool thing for you to kind of get involved with all sorts of different charities and learn about them and support them, with such a large kind of community. It's a really amazing thing.
Oh, thank you. No, honestly, I think as you sort of hit it there. There's so many charities and great work being done, and all around the
Yeah.
world, and of course, we'd wish we could help everyone, but it's great, and you get inspired by the people that work for these charities or the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that are
So
affected by them, and when you get to see, some of the great work that they do and the people's lives that are changed through the charities, it really drives you. And but it's actually the people, for me, our peakers, our members, who really inspire me. They organize their own meetups, and they get behind their own causes, and they do their own
yeah.
fundraisers, and they do days out, and they'll go hike a mountain or a Munro, or they've not quite challenged themselves to row across the Pacific yet, but you never know. They're pretty they're pretty determined, so you might find them following in your footsteps. But no, it's been amazing. So no,
Awesome.
congratulations to you guys as well. I think it's
Oh,
great.
No.
So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
encourage
likewise.
everyone to support the McLean Foundation. It's just such a great cause. And actually, I just wanted to ask you, speaking of WWF and oceans, like, I saw the other day you posted about a barracuda that was caught or something.
It was
But
a wahoo. Yeah.
I just wondered, like, have you seen anything else, or is it, all under the waves, or but have you
Yeah.
seen any other wildlife?
We did have. We were actually maybe 3-4 days ago. Lachlan and I were standing here, and we were doing a podcast, and we saw these two fins coming towards the back of the boat. and
Oh
we
wow.
thought there were maybe two fish following each other. And because it seems that marine life, they're quite interested in the movement of our rudder at the back of the boat, and they're like, what is this curious creature at the surface of my world? And they come up to say
Yeah.
hello. And these two big fins started coming towards the stern of the boat. And we go, oh my god, look at those two fish. We stuck one of the underwater cameras in just to get a quick shot. It was one gigantic marlin, like built like a bull.
Oh
It
wow.
was huge, and it followed us for about, and it was so funny because we were on this podcast trying to keep our shit together, just completely losing it, and it followed us. Yeah.
Wow.
It followed us for about 5 minutes and then went off. But it
Stunning.
was like we've seen a few marlin follow the boat. They're still maybe a meter long. This thing was maybe 2 meters, but it was just like, it was so stocky.
Stacked.
It was built like a brick house. It was just,
Yeah.
and kind of intimidating, because actually the most common sort of, I don't know what it is, attack or common
Yeah.
incidents that you
Attack.
find, especially with the Atlantic race, because that's the most regular ocean rowing race, is marlin attacks on ocean rowing boats. And it's because people think that it's because there's reflective tape along the hull of the boat, that if the boat capsizes, it can be seen, the upturned hull. And they
Ah.
think that marlin mistake the flashes for little fish, and they go in to spear one. And there's been multiple instances when marlin tusks have just come right through the hull of the boat.
Right through
One
while
in
you're in your
particular,
bed. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Genuinely.
there was one in particular that the guy, he was sleeping in the bow cabin, and the tusk came right through and poked out in between his
Through
legs.
the bed.
What way
Yeah.
to wake up?
So when
Oh
you
my
see
god.
Wild.
when you see a behemoth of a marlin following the boat and showing interest in your vessel, it's
Oh
kind of
Jesus.
scary.
Yeah.
We
Or
had the white
maybe
flag up.
it's just target practice. Who knows? Maybe they're just like
Oh,
Maybe.
he
just curious.
luckily, I mean, he stayed for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then left. But I mean, apart from that, there's been, I mean, you were asking earlier about kind of moments of like just like wonder, and I
Yeah.
think, yeah, it's definitely. I think dolphins have kind of very
Oh.
often just appeared in those moments where we've needed a bit of a boost, and they're just so playful and like sometimes absolutely hilarious, jumping out the water and
Doing
kind
like
of,
front flip.
yeah, like not really,
Yeah.
doesn't look like a very
Desperate.
comfortable. It's not very like, yeah. But a lot of the time they're like very streamlined, but sometimes they just fling themselves out the water. It's very funny. But no, it's
I'm
been cool.
guessing they probably haven't seen many Scotsmen around, so they're just like, hey, like attention seeking, maybe
Yeah.
desperate.
Oh, it's been cool. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing! Wow. Well, I hope that your the weather changes in the next couple of hours and you guys can get back at it. But I'm also glad that you're getting a little, a little break and a little time out. It's amazing
Yeah.
that you can even like. Is this a satellite phone that you guys use, or you have like obviously you need to have contact with people,
Everything.
but
Yeah. Yeah, we've got so a company called Claris Networks have sorted us out with full Starlink, and it's been
Amazing.
unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
like
yeah.
there's been no issues. It's quite remarkable. Because even 5 years ago, you couldn't. We had a beacon, and you couldn't do anything near this. We could send the odd photo, maybe a short video, but it's kind of changed ocean rowing in terms of how you can sort of bring it to life.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been quite remarkable.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's allowed conversations like this, which is
Yeah, it's
such a
just
treat.
isn't it crazy? I'm sitting here
I
in the living
know.
room, and you guys
It's
are
wild.
So cool.
bobbing
Yeah.
around. It's just
Where,
mad.
where,
It's wonderful.
Sam, where are you? Are you in Glasgow?
Well, actually, I'll tell you where I am. I'm on the west coast. No, the east coast of Ireland. I'm looking out at
Oh
the
wow.
Irish Sea here, and don't tell
Hey,
anyone, but it is very beautiful. I wouldn't say it's better than Scotland, but it is damn beautiful. And I've seen people going out on kayaks and paddle boards, and they're even surfing out there as well. It is quite special. Obviously nowhere near as good as Scotland, but no, very very beautiful. But I do keep looking out there and going, wow, like somewhere out there you boys are. I mean, it's a very very long
yeah,
way away, but it's amazing. I just I myself am not probably great on the ocean, much like my character Jamie Fraser. He gets epic seasickness, which is what I wanted to
yeah.
ask you. Do you get it, or is it just that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, we had, funnily enough, so before the Atlantic, none of us had ever had seasickness at all. I wouldn't say. And then on the Atlantic, me and Jamie had like 6 hours, would you say?
Yeah, if that. Yeah, it was.
And it passed really quickly, and then we were just into it, and it was fine. But for the beginning of this, I mean, it was quite, quite, side-on weather. And when you've got that, the boat's always because they're really lightweight, and I suppose the boat was loaded with loads of food, so it wasn't that lightweight, but it was still rocking around, kind of side to side, and that I think that motion you're not used to it, and I think it's that mixed with all the I think it's like the nerves of you're leaving for such a long time. But
Right.
we had seasickness for
2 weeks.
yeah, like it was ages, 10 days, and
Wow.
it was awful. It was really bad because that first bit was quite a tough period of trying to punch through weather, and you really needed to put some effort in to get off the coast of America. But yeah,
It's a shift
it
that you
passed,
guys put
thankfully.
in. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I also wonder if you're going to get land sickness when you actually get back to land. You'll be used to it,
Surprised.
sort of. Yeah, being
I
still.
think
But
you definitely have kind of land, or I don't know what it's called, like land legs or something like that. But it's where
Yeah.
on a small boat like this, because you're very used to really subconsciously just like countering the motion of the boat. And I think as a result, when you get onto land, it's obviously completely static, and your body tries to, I don't know,
yeah.
do some sort of compensation, and
Feels like it's wobbling.
I think
Yeah.
you kind of stumble around like you're totally pissed. Yeah, I mean that for the Atlantic, it was about 24 hours. We were like that, and then you had to have
Oh
people
my
kind of like
god.
holding you, being like, "It's okay, don't worry."
This
You'll
will be
fall over.
3 times the length,
That
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be sleeping in a waterbed or something just to get back to the yeah.
yeah.
Like I just also wondered, like, so I know you row like shifts. It's like, what is it, 3-4 hours or something? Is that right?
It varies. So during the day we'll do. It's more often than not. It's like a 2-to-1 ratio. So we'll do like an hour on, half an hour off.
Yeah.
And then overnight we each do a third of the night on our own. So we've got a couple hours solo, then you rest for a bit, and then a couple hours solo, and then you rest for a bit. So yeah.
Is your arse not completely raw? I mean, come on. How
It
much
was.
Vaseline have you got through?
Yeah.
It was. It really was. I think we were all pretty
I can
worried. Like
imagine.
after the first month, it was going downhill, and it was going downhill rapidly. And I think, and then we searched the med bag. We've got a med bag that can take out an elephant. It's huge. It's got everything you'd ever need
Wonderful.
for an emergency situation. The one thing
Yeah.
we forgot was the pseudocrem. We forgot
Well,
the pseudocrem.
our doctor, he was like, "Ugh, you want to probably take quite a lot of pseudocrem with you, so I won't bother giving it to you in the UK. I'll just give you everything else, but then buy the pseudocrem out in
Oh
Lima because
no.
it'll be quite a few tubs, and you don't want to carry it in hand luggage."
And then
I completely forgot.
we forgot. But
Oh.
thankfully, with I don't know, they've just seemed to our asses have seemed to have upped their game.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Less salt.
Yeah.
There's less water coming on the boat, and we've changed the cushions a wee bit, and it's maintenance.
We're
but-
holding on just.
I'm glad. I was worried about your asses, but clearly they'll be all right. Mad. And also, like, do you get in the sea much, or do you like, no, I'm not getting in there, or are you like jumping in for I don't know, a swim or anything, or is that
Yeah.
stupid?
No, so generally not. Well, we wouldn't do it just to go for a swim. But every week we've had to clean the hull, so we have to. Initially,
Yeah.
we did it like two of us would get in, and then you work your way from the bow of the boat to the stern. So you get these little they're like little mollusks. It's like a little
Yeah.
kind of
Tiny muscle.
Yeah, it's like a tiny muscle,
Yeah.
and they start growing on the hull, and it can slow you down quite a lot. And then you do it from the bow and go that way because you can if you do it the other way, if you work your way up from the stern, sometimes you can kind of scrape them off and then they just reattach further down the boat. So but yeah, so initially we did it, two of us would go in, clean the hull, one of us would be on kind of shark watch. Now like
Oh
the
my God.
second half we've just all got in because we were like, we'll get it done quicker.
Yeah.
If there's a shark, like we've actually only got one pair of goggles as well, so we are
I'm
the
beginning to
shark
wonder
watch.
how well prepped you guys are. No goggles and no pseudocreme. Yeah,
I
but I
know
suppose
we've
there's
got
three
like
of you, so if a shark's hungry, there's still plenty of other
exactly
fish.
yeah, and it's actually almost nicer not having the goggles because with the goggles you can see like you can see into this vast blue, and you
Right,
just that
right.
you've got the Jaws the theme tune for
The theme
Jaws in the
tune,
back here.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh, they're not interested
It's a
in you.
wonderful reset though. I'd say
Great.
like because you don't you use kind of baby wipes to kind of clean the salt off, particularly your arse. Like at the end of the day, but just kind of taking the salt off your skin essentially. But you don't really have a full clean like a shampoo or anything like that.
Mm.
But after a swim, you've got salt all over your body, so you've got to kind of have a bit of a wash. And I
Oh, of
think there's
course.
something to
Yeah.
do with like facing your fears and getting in the water, and you just have a total reset. You can be having a really rubbish day, and you get in the water, clean the hull, come out, have a bit of a clean. You just feel amazing, and it just totally resets everything.
We actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll forward you some videos we took just the other day of the last whole clean because
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
for me it was the nicest one yet. It was actually almost like spiritual the experience because
Wow.
I had the goggles and the cameras. These two were working away on the hull, and just like diving off the side of the boat and just like being there suspended in this the water. It's so funny because I mean, as you can see from here, it looks kind of inky black and it's got a silvery grey reflection of the clouds, so it doesn't look that inviting. But when you
Yeah.
get in there, it's so blue. It's just it's
Wow.
unbelievable,
Wow.
and just like sitting
And
there.
clear.
Yeah, clear,
Yeah.
so clear. And there's a couple tiny fish that have made the sort of shadow of the boat their home, and just seeing them just
Oh,
like interact with you and Lala, and it was
your
really.
pals.
Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Get out home.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Really,
Little Nemo's coming with you and like leave
Yeah.
my boat mollusks alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow. I can't believe it. It's such an amazing thing you're doing, honestly. It's so just inspiring and like I thought I liked adventure, but it's just what you're doing is way above and beyond. And I just can't believe how like positive you guys still are still. It's incredible. But like there's
oh,
no doubt you're
it's
gonna do
definitely.
it. It's great.
Oh, we're getting there. It's that the positivity
You
is
are.
definitely it's very conscious. I think like it's a mechanism to kind of get through the tough times. If you always focus on morale and keeping spirits high, you don't if you can whatever you can do to kind of boost that. And I think these conversations they really help with that sort of thing. And there's loads of little tricks we've got, whether it's kind of a chocolate bar or whatever it is. I think the biggest thing, to be honest,
Yeah.
is like seeing people supporting the whole thing, and
Yeah.
that's a huge boost. But it just allows you to get through the tough times, and you almost don't even notice them.
Yeah.
You've got horrible rowing shift, but if you've got that kind of if you've got that positivity behind you, I think it's very easy to spiral. It's very easy to focus on the negatives, and before you know it, like
Yeah.
you're getting really irritated by the way that Lachlan does whatever it is. It's how Jamie does whatever, squeaking with that
Yeah.
seat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't escape. Like you can't just go for a walk or do something
Go to the
different
pub.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
clear your head. So yeah, it's quite a conscious thing, but it's amazing how effective it is. It really is. We listened to uh, the account of I can't remember who wrote it, but the account of Shackleton's the endurance trip to get across Antarctica, and it
Yes.
was just the most incredible story of
Unbelievable.
survival, really. And I think morale and positivity for them, I think that was played a big factor in all of them surviving and kind of coming out of
Yeah. Yeah.
however many months
Right.
in the Arctic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about a mindset, really, isn't it? I partly the reason I went to Himalayas is I was, fascinated by Mallory and, the
Mm. Yeah.
1920s expeditions up Everest. And, again, they were going up with, no oxygen at first and in tweeds
Yeah.
and, carrying hampers of champagne and caviar. Well, not quite, but, they were literally, just going up with sheer will to get up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so inspiring that people do it. And I think absolutely a positive mental attitude,
Yeah,
which is hard to do at times, but I think you guys are succeeding
it is. Yeah.
100%. And honestly, I will encourage everyone to donate and to support you
Oh yeah.
guys, because it's just
That's,
incredible. And we're all rooting for you. We're all
oh,
waiting with bated breath to celebrate with a wee dram as well when you land on dry land. But you're just
Let's make that
killing it.
happen. It'd
You're
be really
killing it.
cool.
well, I think yeah.
Work out on a whiskey.
Yeah, I think it'd be,
Yeah.
and also, we'll try and get the boat to. It needs to obviously we need to ship it back. We're not going to row back. But we'll try and get it onto Loch Lomond, and it'd be really cool to
Oh.
even just an hour, and you can get a feel for the boat, or if you'd like
Oh.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Especially if I would say one of the yes. If you need an extra man and it's only
Yeah.
Loch Lomond, I'm game. I actually hate Loch Lomond. It's an
We
absolute.
can go somewhere else then.
It's a ball ache only because I did the West Island Way, and I almost quit because it was raining and I was miserable. And it's such a long. I think the longest in Scotland, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah.
Anyway, that or Ness. But I would love to do that. I would love to get in the boat. I'll even help you clean it. Yeah, don't row it back. Don't row it back to Scotland. That's not a good
We'll
idea.
ship it
But
back. Yeah, yeah.
would love that.
Awesome.
That'd be amazing. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Let's do something
Well,
amazing.
yeah. Thank you so much for making the time, man.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate
Oh,
you've got a busy schedule, so yeah, we really really appreciate it. It keeps morale high.
likewise. You guys just keep smashing it. I'll message you as well over the next few days and weeks, and just I know you'll be there soon. So keep enjoying every moment, because it's going to be done soon. But I'm so proud of you guys, and keep up the great work.
Well, thank you, man.
Likewise, man. Cheers.
And,
Catch up
and
soon.
grow that beard. I'm gonna get a bigger beard than you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenges accepted. Cheers,
Awesome,
boys.
man.
Cheers, Sam.
Be safe.
Bye.
Yeah.
Much love. Take care.